My name is Robin Higginbotham, and welcome to Diary of a Junkie, success stories of people in recovery. We're here live at the Capitol in Lansing, Michigan for the Unite to Face Addiction rally. And I'm here with Steve Lawrence. He is a person in long-term recovery and recovery advocate, and he has an awesome story that I'd like for him to share with you. And with that, I'll bring you Steve. Welcome, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Steve Lawrence. I'm almost 2.5 years in recovery at this point. I can tell you guys a lot of the horror stories, all those things, but I'll try to keep that very short. I am you. I've been homeless. I've eaten out of the trash cans. But I truly believe, for me, my higher power is the energy that comes from the rooms of recovery. And in being so, 2.5 years ago, that energy reached out to me, and I looked at my significant other at the time and told her quite literally to her face that I didn't want to do this anymore. And it'd been 10 years of drug dealing. It'd been another 10 or 12 years of doing drugs, and it'd been a couple of years being in the streets, living in abandoned houses, those things. What happened was, like I said, that energy brought me in, and I was blessed because I wanted this. When I went to the recovery center that helped me, the rehab, the lady that did the intake had asked me why I was there. And we all know when they're doing that what they're asking you is like cocaine, heroin, alcohol. And I told her to do whatever you people tell me to, and I meant it. So when I was there, I did. And to this day, when I go back to that recovery center to speak, I still pick up stuff in the hallways. You'll find me setting the chairs up in the gymnasium, because that place saved my life, and I have respect for it, so I treat it as such. But then I made it to my home group, which is at 9 in Hoover in Warren, Michigan. It's called Daily Maintenance. It meets 7 days a week, from rain, flood, hell or high water. And they showed me love that I hadn't seen in a long time. I'm an addict that had burned every bridge. Family didn't want them around. All those things that we do. And I came into those rooms hopeless but willing. And I had some wonderful people in my life. Can I name them? My friend Jillian S. My friend Paulie G. My brother Tommy K. Handful of other people that told me if I was just honest, open-minded, and willing that my life could change. And I'm here to tell you, 2.5 years later, it has. I went from a guy who thought the world owed him something because I said, my family was and is into legal things, to a guy who now has 2 jobs. I work for recovery houses. I run a few of them for them. I also do construction, and but mainly I'm an advocate for recovery. I took the time off work to come be with a bunch of addicts and alcoholics here in recovery, people in recovery, to support them and let the legislature know and let the world know that we recover. We get better. We become productive members of society. We get jobs and pay taxes and raise families. That it doesn't always have to be that way.
That's right.
But it's about wanting it. And even if you don't think you want it, just keep coming to the rooms of recovery, and we'll keep loving you. We'll keep hugging you and shaking your hand and telling you to keep coming back. Because if we can even reach one person out there, if this whole event that we put on today brings one person into the rooms of recovery, that's enough. The hundreds of hours a month that I spend speaking, reaching out to people in the areas that I go to, it has nothing to do with quantity of people or quality. It has to do with, did one person decide that they might want to come into the rooms and give themselves a chance? And I always promise people that if you come to my home group, I'll be there. There was a young lady here today who walked up to me and said, you know, I went to rehab 10 months ago and you told me that you would be there when I got back, and when I walked in the door you were there. I said, well, then I kept my promise. You know, but that's what we do. We learn to keep our word. We learn to do the things that we say we'll do. And I believe that meeting makers make it, and we make it by doing step work with our sponsors and the people doing this. These programs that are out there for you are wonderful. They have given me I don't have a lot of material things, but I believe myself to be one of the wealthiest men I know spiritually, because I get filled with it. I love helping people that want to get into recovery do just that. It's brought me great satisfaction in my life. It's brought me peace for all the things that I've done in my past, the amends I've made and things like that. To actually give to other people what other people gave to me and ask nothing of me but to show up means the world to me. Because that's what this is about. You know, I've never received any compensation, nor would I accept it, for helping an addict or an alcoholic or anybody in recovery of any sort that asked me for the help. And I didn't know to do that. I was taught to do that. We will teach you in the rooms of recovery how to love yourself again, and then in turn how to turn around and teach somebody else how to love themselves.
Right.
You know,
that means everything.
These programs work because they teach you to love again, and to love unconditionally. And that doesn't mean you have to like everybody that you know.
Exactly.
But you learn to love them for who they are, acceptance, and tolerance, and goodwill toward man. You know,
learning to love yourself.
Learning to love yourself, and
true gifts of sobriety, man. That's
true gifts. The love of self, and is probably the biggest one. And then we get to, I get to watch the light turn on in another recovering person's face when they start to care about what they're doing. They start shaving, and don't take mine. I'm actually pretty clean cut usually. Shaving, and you know, they're buying themselves some new clothes, and they're working, and you see that light come on, and they're working steps, and all of a sudden they look at you and they say, you know, my life is getting better. And you look at them and you say, you know, welcome. You know, that's what it's supposed to do. But that came, my self-love came through other people, and then you know, I try to give that to anybody in recovery that wants it. I believe my purpose here in these recovery rooms is to be as loving as I can be, because I wasn't always that way. I don't know, 2.5 years into this, I'm pretty blessed. I tell people all the time I'm blessed and highly favored. You know, if you're seeing this for the first time, give yourself a break. Come into the rooms. You know, let us show you a better way. You know, and for those of you that feel hopeless, you're not hopeless. We care about you. We love you, and we don't even need to know you. We'll show you that it gets better. My name is Steve Lawrence. I'm a person in recovery, and thanks for letting me share this video with you.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
I don't have nothing to add to that. You nailed it. Proof positive. Recovery works. Once lost and broken, 2.5 years later, life's changed, making a difference in other people's lives. Watch this video, hope you get something out of it. I'm Robin Higginbotham, Diary of a Junkie, sponsored by the Fuck Heroin Foundation and Clean Motives. Hit us up on Facebook, give us a call, 419-971-KICK. Peace out.